What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Living in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm your host, Tim Barnes, and today we're going to be talking to a real live storm chaser tracker. You don't want to miss this one. We've got Timm Crone with us from Channel 6 News, and we're getting after it right now. Okay, we're here with Mr. Timm Crone of Channel 6. He is an actual real live storm chaser. I think this is going to be awesome. A lot of you people have had so many questions out there as, to what the weather is like in Tulsa and are tornadoes going to get you. I think he's going to help to relieve some of those concerns that you guys have. So with that being said, Mr. Timm, how long have you been in the business chasing tornadoes and storms?
Well, I've actually been with Channel 6. This will be my 5th season. So back in 2017 is when I started with them. But before that, many years, about 30 years total. Off and on. 30
years, wow. Chasing storms, tornadoes. Is there anything else that you guys chase that we don't know about?
Well, depending on the season,
besides squirrels.
I chase squirrels, rabbits. No, during the winter months, we track fires, wildfires that often get going through northeast Oklahoma. On occasion, if there's nothing going on here in the northeast Oklahoma area, we may chase outside this area to go maybe get some footage, or even possibly hurricanes down in the Gulf.
Okay, so you get outside of the area.
Yes, if there's nothing right here in our local area. We try to stay within our TV viewing area if there's anything even close. Outside of those times, we're pretty much free to go.
Gotcha. Okay, so do you know, wait a minute, let me say it like this. What is it like chasing a tornado?
To start with, it's hours and hours and hours of sheer boredom, followed by hopefully moments of excitement and adrenaline rush of actually being able to see a tornado. Being in Tornado Alley, people think we see tornadoes all the time. I've known people who've lived here 30 years and never seen one. And luckily that's why we call them chase. We go out and look for them. But it's exciting to actually see something, especially from a distance, and then close the gap and just watch it. Just from a distance, we can see the structure of the storm and understand, right. Maybe get a little more why it's happening. But for Channel 6, what we do, we actually just track them so we can tell people downrange of any possible threats that might be with a certain storm, whether it be hail, wind, of course lightning, but heavy rains and occasionally tornadoes.
Most people's questions are, hey, the tornadoes, is more common than not? A Moore type tornado, Moore is known for having...
Oklahoma, that seems to be a focal point for initiation of some of the bigger storms in Oklahoma. That central part of the area that things just come together, typically in the month of May. That's our big storm season. But there's been tornadoes in every month of the year and in every county in Oklahoma throughout the years.
Oh my goodness. Every year? This is
common? Oh, no, not every year, but over the past 30, 40, 50 years, they can go back and find a tornado has been in virtually every county during some time throughout the year.
Throughout the year, gotcha.
Yeah, a couple years ago we had one near Lake Tenkiller in the month of November.
Oh, wow.
That had some substantial damage to that.
Wow. So a lot of people are concerned about the tornadoes when moving here. What would you tell them as far as being so concerned about them? Should they be as concerned as they say or as they think that they are?
Well, there's a big hype about them. Of course, you watch the movie Twister. And,
yeah.
And in that 2-hour block, you see 47 tornadoes. That doesn't happen on a normal basis.
Right.
Typically, what we on a real severe outbreak day where it's expected, you may see 2 or 3 tornadoes in the entire viewing area, which just starts up near Bartlesville and extends all the way down to McAllister.
Okay.
And points west, just east of Oklahoma City to the Arkansas line. So that's a tremendously large area. Not everybody's going to see a tornado.
Right.
Again, some people lived here all their lives and never seen one. So it's just where they pop up. That's the biggest question that we try to determine.
So and I was going to mention the movie Twister, because a lot of you guys think about that movie whenever you think about Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Oklahoma in general. Is that a good depiction as to what Twisters are like?
And for that time frame back in the late 90s it was pretty close.
Really?
We don't, now for Channel 6, we don't have the teams that, chase 5 or 6 vehicles out there chasing them. Now they are out there. Mm-hmm. There's certain teams that do it specifically for scientific reasons.
Gotcha.
And there's other folks out there that want to deploy probes and just for their own information or just get that perfect shot.
Yeah.
But we call ourselves trackers because the term chasers is kind of have some odd connotations sometimes. So we use trackers because our job is to track a storm and try to help those downrange of it.
Yeah, warning.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know, National Weather Service, they're the official ones that declare a tornado warning. They're using that based on a lot of their equipment that they have. And we just go out there to verify. There's several of us that go out during a storm event, and we get different angles on a particular storm or multiple storms, and just verify what the radar is depicting. And Channel 6 does a great job of showing all the aspects of a storm.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah. I have been, you guys have, over at Channel 6, you guys have Travis Meyer,
Yes.
chief meteorologist for a long time.
Many
Before that, I
years.
think he's with another channel.
Yes.
But I have watched him my entire life.
Well, I've been here in Oklahoma for 30 years, and I started watching Jim Giles for Channel 6, and then
Right.
Travis for Channel 8, and then Travis made the transition
Made a
over
move.
to Channel 6, and I've been staying with him ever since.
Now, whenever I contacted him, I called him my weather dad because I've been watching since I was
remember you saying
a
that.
child.
So I remember you saying that.
That's funny.
And there's many out there like that.
Yeah. What are the chances of actually getting hit by a tornado?
Oh, wow. I would say very, very slim. Now, you go back and say, look at all these towns that got hit by a tornado, but on the vast scheme of things, it's very, very minute chance of anybody getting hit by a tornado. With that said, we still urge people to have a plan for when storm season comes. And Travis does a lot of those shows with COVID, maybe not as many, but he's done virtual shows, and all the trackers and some of the other meteorologists will go out and explain what to do when this happens. And our big thing is just have a plan. Know what you want for your family and you to do in case something pops up in your area.
Yeah.
So, and it might be 20 miles away, might be sunny and perfectly nice, where in your area it might be just, a big storm. It might be damaging or life-threatening. So you just got to keep your attention out there and keep an eye in the sky and an ear to the TV or radio.
Yeah. It's working a little different. He's with Channel 6, like Storm Tracker, not Chaser.
Tracker.
But typically they would be interviewing us on something, and we're interviewing them. It's kind of fun to have it reversed.
Yeah, we're not true reporters. Well, we can. We've been asked to do that on a certain case if we're the first ones on a scene of a tornado or even an accident or anything that might be newsworthy. We can fill that role, but we're not the true reporters.
Right.
We don't have that kind of training, and we're just there to really show what we see.
Being able to interview one of News on 6's people, though, that's pretty cool. So,
well, thank you.
That is awesome.
Appreciate it.
What is Tornado Alley? What do they refer to as that?
Well, it's a geographical area east of the Rocky Mountains, extending, nowadays it's really extended out east and south of where it used to be. Basically Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, all the way up to the Midwest. Basically the Midwest is considered Tornado Alley. All the ingredients can come together there, and that's where tornadoes typically happen. But yet, in the last probably 10 years, it seems as if things have shifted a little bit south and east, where there's more storms happening.
Interesting.
It is. It's a trend that a lot of meteorologists are kind of watching to see, is this a cyclical thing, or is this literally Tornado Alley being shifted? I can't say whether it is or not. I'm just going with the trends. But typically earlier in the spring, the storms are south and east of here. Things just haven't.
That was going to be another question I was going to have, is what's the peak of the tornado season that people would have?
Well, for northeast Oklahoma, that season typically starts in April and extends through the early weeks of June. That's when we expect to have conditions that are favorable for tornadic activity.
Coming into that summertime.
We are coming into that. This April has been very slow. It's been.
Do you expect that to pick up, do you think?
Some of the models are saying towards the end of April and into May, things should go back to a normal type of a pattern where we can expect some kind of severe weather occasionally every week or so. But again, that all depends. Conditions have to be just right for severe storms, and everything has to fall into place for a tornado to develop.
Conditions conducive to tornadoes.
Hot temperatures or very warm temperatures, moisture in the air, converging weather fronts, tornadoes can happen. They don't have to have all a certain set. They can.
We always think of the air going up and down when we think about
There
it.
is that. There's a lot of lift, especially when we get to tornado season. It's typically associated with a cold front moving in, cooler, drier air behind, very warm and unstable air in front of it. That front is pushing down, and it creates lift. And temperatures, that is a huge key as well. The more temperatures and more moisture in the area, that column of air can rise quickly. And with that and the jet stream twisting the air, things can really get pulled down to the surface, and that's what needs to happen during a tornado. Now, I've seen certain times where the tornado chances were very slim, and we get a tornado. I've seen conditions where tornadoes seem like, okay, this is a prime day. We should have 3 or 4 big tornadoes somewhere in this area. One ingredient was missing. We don't know which one it was, but nothing happens.
Crazy.
So that's why we encourage people just really keep an eye under the sky and we'll keep an ear out to TV and radio.
People will laugh at me for this one, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Watch or warning is worse?
Warning is worse.
Okay.
Warning.
My wife was right.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. No, we get that question often, honestly. A watch just means conditions are favorable for the development of a severe thunderstorm and or tornado. When a warning happens, conditions are actually happening at that point. Strong winds, 55 miles an hour, higher quarter size or larger hail. That's typically a severe thunderstorm. Now, when a tornado warning has been issued, it either has been determined on radar, they can see a spin in the radar. Mm-hmm. For the folks that are first time in Oklahoma, when you watch the weather in the evenings, if there's a severe weather event, they make you a little circle spinning on the TV, and that's where the zone of circulation, rotation in the storm is evident. That might be elevated, it might be up in the atmosphere, but typically the stronger that spin is up in the atmosphere, it's more conducive to drop a tornado. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're really looking for.
What kind of storm shelter would you recommend people?
That is the $1 million question.
Don't have to answer that one. But.
Well, any type of storm shelter is better than no storm shelter.
I like that.
We'll run with that.
Yes. What would you tell somebody, Mr. Timm, who is afraid to move to Oklahoma due to severe weather? You have.
You're missing out. Don't let a chance of severe weather ruin the opportunity to come to a community that literally has everything. If you're a weather lover, we have every season there is. We've had the strong winters, we've had the warm springs, the summers, and then the falls are beautiful. Don't let a chance of bad weather affect your decision to move to Oklahoma, because you'd never find a better place to live. When I moved here 30 years ago, it was going to be a stepping stone, moving here to the next spot. That was 30 years ago. Well, we fell in love with Oklahoma.
That's great. We have so many people that move here that we work with. I'm a real estate agent, so I help people move into the area and showcase Tulsa. And I tell people, like, I had a guy just recently moved from New York, and I said, it is really hard to get out of Oklahoma once you move here. I don't know why.
That's a true statement.
Moves here, and now he's moving his whole family here.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Well, and you're not alone. We encourage friends to move here from other states. I grew up in the state of Washington, so it's a complete different culture, complete different demographic, different environment, but it's hard to explain what Oklahoma is. It's warm, not just temperature-wise, I'm talking people. It's comfortable. Living expenses here are far lower than other places, and it's just good people. That's what drew us. That's what kept us here, is the good people. And we don't have the beaches or all the fancy stuff, but that's why you go on vacation.
Yeah.
You want a comfortable place
away.
to live with good people, Oklahoma's your spot.
That's great. Timm, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
doing that. Is there anything else you want to give? Any plug or anything for anyone there, or it's up to you?
Stay
Shout
with the
out.
news on 6. We'll keep you advised.
Boom. Like it. Super thankful for Mr. Timm stopping by and sharing those experiences with us and what it's like. Like he said, do not miss coming to Oklahoma over the chance of cloudy weather. With that being said, my information is down there below. Call, text, or email me anytime, and we're looking forward to help you move to the Tulsa Metro. We'll see you on the next one.